And first off, there's a biological difference between herbivores or vegetarians and carnivores. Did you all know that? What are some of the differences?
Their teeth.
Their teeth? What about their teeth? They got canine teeth, big old long fangs that if you bite into something, you can bite and rip the flesh out, right? Do you have that?
No.
Because somebody normally says, yeah, we got them right here. Go bite a cow and see whether they work like a lion's do. If they work like a lion's do, then all right, you got it. You know, I'm going to stay away from you. What other biological markers do we have that clearly, or don't have, rather, that are clearly those of a carnivorous animal?
They can eat it raw.
Ooh, she cut hard. They can eat it while it's still wriggling on the ground. Now, can you imagine you hit a cow over the head with a brick, and he laying on the ground, man, and you go biting into him and eating his flesh? Can you imagine that? Hold on now. How many of us are vegetarian again? All right, we got a little bit of the room that's vegetarian. All right, we're going to work on you. What else biologically separates us from them?
They drink the blood also.
Okay. Well, we can drink the blood. There's some of us that do that. But yeah, but no, you're right. Yeah.
They have a short,
They have a short
gut.
Short digestive tract, short GI tract. We have a long one. So it takes a long time to go through us. What else? The significance here is anything that takes 8 to 10 hours to digest, you shouldn't be eating. All flesh takes 8 to 10 hours to digest. You shouldn't be eating. All right? Now I'm going to use another example. Many of you may have heard this on the radio if you've heard me. When you see on the road as you ride down the street in your Cadillac Escalade with your 24-inch rims, you know, white, a pearl white Cadillac Escalade, and you see a dead chicken on the road, do you run over it or do you swerve to miss it? Ladies, y'all swerve to miss it? Oh, you run over. Stand up so we know. So, you know. We all know what kind of car you got. Sure, we leave after you leave. But no, we don't run over it. And why don't we run over the dead animal in the street? You don't want to get all of that blood and pus and feathers and flesh and beak and whatever else might be there. You don't want any of that coming up on the side of your vehicle. Because it might be there when you get home. And you got it smells and it stinks and it's like, oh man, my baby. My baby got dead animal on it. But if you got a bucket in the seat next to you, you have no problem taking your hand and placing it in the bucket and pulling the very bird that your Cadillac could not run over and putting it up to these lips that you won't kiss but 1 or 2 people with because everything else is nasty. But you'll put the dead flesh that you couldn't run over in your Cadillac, you'll put that flesh up to you and tear the flesh off of the bone. Won't you do it? Won't you do it?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Some of us with pride. Yes. You're making me hungry. Something's wrong with us. Because see, none of us learned that in easy method driving school. You didn't learn swerving to miss the dead animal. You'll even come in front of an 18-wheeler. Oh, no, I'm back. Didn't learn that. You did that because that's your natural instinct. Anybody ever ride behind a chicken truck? Okay. We had some, okay. Yeah, if I show hand, y'all just like punch drunk at this point. Just roll me over. So you ride behind a chicken truck. What's one of the most memorable things about riding behind a chicken truck? It stinks like nothing you ever would imagine could have ever been alive before in your life. It stinks. And trust me, I've been there. I'm riding behind this chicken truck, and it was at least a mile ahead of us. And we ride, and we getting sick in the car, and we can't figure out what's going on. What is going on? That smell is so awful. And when you ride behind that chicken truck, does it make you hungry for chicken? Oh! It doesn't make you want to just you know, jump up on the cage and rip one of those chickens out and eat them? Oh, okay. Well, a carnivorous animal is jumping up on the cage and ripping it open and getting that chicken. Yeah. Your instinct would make you know that that's not for you. So we can go down the list. You got to cook it, otherwise it'll kill you, right? Some of us think we cook it to flavor it and make it taste better, right? But why do we cook it? So it won't kill you. And the part that will kill you inside of the chicken in particular is his what? Nope. It's his feces and urine. But see, how many of us have ever lived on a chicken farm or been spending any time? Okay, so that's important. Do chickens urinate? They don't ever urinate. Never. Y'all ever notice when you're opening up the flesh and you notice all the yellow? Oh, brother, you ain't have to go there. That was good. You notice that the chickens sweat out their urine. Their liquid waste gets sweated out. But if a chicken stays inside of a battery cage all of its life, and it never gets a chance to run around and sweat and do all of that because they want to make the chickens fatter so that they can make more money off of the chickens, so they keep them inside of this cage and dope them up with all kinds of stuff, then all of that urine stays in the chicken. Bon appetit. And how many brothers eat chicken in the room? Come on, give me one. Put your black man fist up. There it is. You tough. Guess what? The more chicken sales, the more Viagra sales. What's he saying? What's he saying? What's he talking about? Chicken and Viagra. What that got to do with Viagra? Glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. What do they dope up the chickens with in order to make the chickens get bigger? Steroids. Steroids. What else? Hormones. Estrogen hormones. What else? Well, yeah, they feed them dead animals, right? Antibiotics, indeed. But tell me, what would happen if you inject a male, your husband, or a male, any animal, with estrogens? What would happen to that animal? I'm going to answer it for you. Because I know y'all are like, well, if I answer, that would mean I really need to deal with this. I'm going to answer it for you. In Florida, they started noticing that, and this is really going to hurt you. In Florida, they started noticing that the panthers had smaller genitalia as a result of the estrogens that they're taking in. Y'all ever heard of an Extends commercial back in the 1950s and 60s? Y'all never heard of that, did you? But they got them now, don't they? They got all these clinics that men are going to in order to get themselves fixed up because you're destroying yourself. You're destroying yourself because you got to have chicken. We eat chicken every day. We're taking in estrogen, we're taking in feminine hormones every single day. Okay? So now, we see the correlation there. As we take in those estrogens, we're feminizing ourselves. Some of us are old enough that you all look out and you say, well, wait a minute, it wasn't this many homosexuals back in the day, and it wasn't as many homosexuals in the closet. Any women go to a hairstylist and notice all the men, or many of the men inside of the salon, they tend to be feminine. You know why they're feminine? Because of all of the estrogens and the chemicals that they're using every single day on your hair. It's not because homosexual men just choose to be hairstylists. It's the estrogens that we're taking in. We want to be tough and we want to be strong. You got to stop eating your enemy's food. Got some great food back there in the back. Got to stop eating your enemy's food. If I wanted to destroy you, that would be one of the first things I do. Is destroy your food supply. All right. What are some of the things that we used to do back in the day to overcome illness? Anybody? Y'all remember? Specifically. Cod liver oil. There's another oil that we used to do. Castor oil every Friday night. Like clockwork. Where you going? And don't ever act like you got a cold or a fever or a cough or anything, because you know it's castor oil. It got so bad for me when I was a child, if you even talked about castor oil, I had to go to the bathroom. But it's nothing but energy. I got the energy. I was like, oh, here it comes. Well, let me go get rid of it now. Let me do this, because I don't want the castor oil.